We spoke previously, and it's obviously a bit of a generalization that when a child has issues, it often comes from the way parents deal with things, perhaps not knowing better. Do you think the way parents are interacting with technology and accessing information and communications has an impact on this situation?
Definitely, we're setting an example. And they see when you get home and you go sit down and you're on social media, that's the message that we send to our children. That's what we're going to do. So I can have lots of time on social media because that's what mommy and daddy does. And the children want attention. So if mommy and daddy is unavailable because they are busy on a laptop or the tablet or cell phone, then what is the child going to do? They're going to do exactly the same thing. To say, well, then I also get mine, and then this is what we do now.
You gave some advice, but if you had to give guidelines for how do you then manage raising a child at whichever age in the era of technology, what do you do to still have traditional developmental elements taking place?
You need to set... You need to set opportunities for your child to explore other things. Because sometimes they also look at us we need to introduce something to them. If we don't show them, here are the blocks, this is how you build something, then they're not going to know. So we really need to make time to play with our children the traditional way. Even if it's half an hour a day, sitting down with your child on the floor. I know sometimes it's difficult and you have your phone and emails and things coming through, but switch it off for half an hour a day and play with your child on the floor on his level. If you have a bigger child and they have other things that they want to do with your child what he or she needs. And then just switching off your cell phone and making that time and have control on what your child does. I see lots of kids have tablets and they do whatever they want. Or they take mommy or daddy's cell phone and they go onto YouTube and they download things and you have no control over what's going on. So parents also need to have control over what the child can do, what's accepted, and then time also. Giving your child a tablet and say, well, whenever you want, take it out and play with it. That's bad. Rather say, let's make time, you have half an hour a day. If all your homework is done, if all your chores is done, everything is done, I give you half an hour. Children are usually, before they start the chores and before they start homework, they start playing. And then at the end of the day, when the day is over, the chores is not done, the homework's not done, and then they're in trouble.
Are there nuances to this across cultural lines, or is it a basic principle you can apply regardless of your cultural background?
I think it's regardless. There's lots of peer pressure also. I think depending on the culture in the school maybe. If everyone at school has a tablet, you can see then one child will go home and say, but everyone has a tablet, I also want one. So it's much to do with the friends that the child has, to know if they're going to want it or not really want it that bad.
Are you seeing instances of cyberbullying?
I haven't seen it myself yet, but I know definitely about it.
How does that change the dynamic if someone is being bullied on a playground, for example, as opposed to being bullied digitally? How do you manage that differently, or do you manage it the same way?
On social media it's much worse, I think, because it's out there. It's not on the playground, it happens, it's over. Whereas on social media, and it spreads and it goes over and you've got no control over it. You can't control what's going on the social media. And once it's out there, you can't take it back. So that's also why parents need to have control over what your child allowed, what they put out there also. Some of the children doesn't really know about privacy, so they put out things there, they put on photos and they put on things that's happening. And from there, someone else sees something or uses it, and you're in this thing where you can't take it back. Once it's out there, it's out